right, I think we're live. Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we are. Okay, so as anybody joins, welcome. And we got a car going by. Yep. All right, well, I'm going to just get started then. So, what's up, everyone? Good morning. My name's Ray. If I haven't met you before, I'm one of the trainers. I'm in the weight room most of the time. And today we're going to do just a body weight based boot camp. So I'm hoping that because most of you probably don't have a ton of equipment at home, that you'll still be able to run through this workout. All I've got today is a mat. I'm going to use this bench for some dips later in the workout. And then if we need to modify things like push-ups, this will be perfect as well. So what we're going to do to get started is actually just lie down on our backs. We're going to lay down and start with some bridges. And hopefully, let me just see if anybody's joined here. Nope. I want to see if everybody can hear me okay. Well, that's all right. We'll just roll with it. It's just now 8 o'clock, so. I think we're all right. I think we're just going to get going. So starting out laying on your back, we're going to start with that bridge. So if you've got knees bent, spine flat on the floor, we're going to start by pushing through those heels, bringing hips up, and we're going to do that by squeezing buns tight. So every time you drive through the heels, that's going to do the work of pushing those hips toward the sky. Run through about 5 here. Good, one more. And come on down. So now that you've started to figure out how to get that back flat on the floor, we're going to bring those arms out to make a couple of field goals. So we're making this position right here on the floor with those arms. And the goal as we go through this next exercise is to keep your forearms, so elbows through the back of the hands on the floor the entire time. And keep that spine flat on the floor as well. So if you start by engaging those abs, use those abs to flatten your back against the floor. See how high you can slide those arms up along the floor while keeping a flat back, and then bring them back down again. So we're reaching those fingertips up as far away from those toes as we can, but we're doing that while keeping a flat back, elbows down, and backs to the hands on the floor. Just running through about 5 here. This is actually all part of a warm-up video that I threw together a couple weeks ago. Maybe it ended up on the YouTube page or something. Let's go one more. The idea here is that it's going to get your whole body working. Pretty quick and easy. Good. So next, what we'll do is we're going to reach left leg up toward the ceiling, take those arms out to a T, and then we're going to drop that left leg across the body, get some rotation through the spine. Now using your core, bring that leg back up. Control it all the way down. And as that left leg reaches toward the floor, so you can keep left arm on the floor behind you, left shoulder on the floor, back up. Couple more. And let's go one more. Now I think I'll hit the bench on the other side. So turn it around. So again, Arms out to a T. Now we're bringing right leg up toward the ceiling. And we're going to lower that down toward the floor. Control it back up. So getting that rotational work to happen by keeping your core working, keeping the back happy as you do this. Probably feel a little stretch through the back of that right leg too. So one more time. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn onto our stomach now. So laying on your stomach, we're going to start warming up the chest. And this is going to work your core again as well. So push-up position, but your body's still resting on the floor. And from here, we're going to press all the way up to the top of the push-up and then control all the way back down. Let's go through 5 here. So from the ground to the top of the push-up, all the way back down. If you need to, you can do this from your knees. So come all the way up to the top of the push-up, keeping that back flat, keeping your thighs in line with your torso, all the way back down. Let's do one more. All the way up. And then control that all the way back down. Good. I'm going to pause here. We're getting something funny with the video. No, I'm just going to keep rolling. This is my first time trying to figure this out. So I think we're good. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep on rolling with the warm-up then. So next, if you're in a push-up position, from here, we're going to move into a downward-facing dog. So hips toward the sky. Now we're pushing more weight into the heel of the hand. And the goal is to keep a flat back here, keep the legs straight. And we're going to come up on the tiptoes and come back down. So we're getting those calves warmed up here. Up on the tiptoes, come back down. A way that you can modify this if you need to is to probably be on your forearms. Still work on sticking your butt up in the air though, so that when you come up on those tiptoes, you're loading the calves with some weight. Good. Nice. From there, let's stay in that downward facing dog. And now let's get the shoulders warmed up a little more. So see if you can dive the crown of your head toward the floor and press back up for 5. And again, you can modify. You can be on your knees here. You still want to keep on working your butt up toward the sky, crown of the head toward the floor. One more time. Good. And then from there, let's come into a split stance or a lunge position. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And we want that heel right below the knee. Same with the back leg. We want that knee right below the hip. So we're creating a right angle, basically a right angle. And then from there, work on coming up. Come to the top of the lunge, and then control that all the way back down again. We're just getting warmed up. Don't need to go nuts here. Let's go through 5. Good. And then let's switch sides. So if we start at the bottom here, knee on the floor, make yourself tall. Come to the top of the split squat or the lunge, and then all the way back down. Good for 5. 3, let's do a couple more. And one more. Good. All right, something's blinking on here, like it looks like it might be cutting in and out. So I apologize if this is spotty. For the last part of the warm-up that we're going to do,
will be to get into a squat here. So sit down as low as you can into that squat, and then you can use your elbows to press those knees out. If this is not quite doable, you know, maybe you're still working about here in the squat. That's okay. You can still bring your elbows to your knees, and you can still use your elbows to push those knees out. The idea here is to work those knees out wider and then to work those hips down lower. So if you're able to sit your bottom all the way down to the bottom of that squat, so your butt's actually at your heels, then see about reaching one hand up toward the sky, other hand up, and just keep alternating here. 3 to 5 per side. If you're taking the modification, if you're staying a little higher in that squat, see about keeping one elbow on one knee, but still reaching a hand up. Right. Right, so you're still getting some movement through your spine. You're making those legs work because they got to stay in that squat. And then from there, we're simply going to go through 5 slow, intentional squat reps here. Good, I'm going to back up. A couple more. Perfect. So that's going to bring the, oh shoot, yeah, okay, it's lagging here. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know, Mary. Well, hopefully, maybe if I take this back a little bit, I'm outside in hopes it'll be a little quieter, but that also means the Wi-Fi is probably worse. Okay, well, I'll do the best I can here, and I'm going to keep rolling into the workout. So what we're going to do today, it's going to be all body weight, but we're going to run through some strength exercises, and then we'll jump into sort of a high-intensity drill at the end of each circuit. We're going to do each circuit 3 times, 30 seconds per exercise, and I'm just going to kind of explain as we go. So for the first round, we're starting with squats, and we're just using our body weight today. If you've got something like a book bag, or if you've got a weight that you want to hang on to, that'll make it harder. That'll make it a little more challenging for you. But if you're just using your body weight, work on getting your hips all the way down to about knee height and coming back up. So we'll start with squats. We're going to come down to the mat for a push-up position plank. So what that'll be is just starting right here at the top of a push-up, holding it tight. So what I want to see is that buns are tight, back is flat. If your booty's relaxed, you tend to arch the back. We want to get rid of that arch by getting the core and the glutes working together. And then from there, after 30 seconds, we're going to go to a running speed mountain climber. Fast as you can. If you need to, you can move at more of a walking pace. That is all good. So let's get started here. 30 seconds per exercise. I got a timer going, but I'll call it out. So starting with 30 seconds of squats now. Go. Nice. So my knees are staying as wide as my ankles, not letting them fall in. And I'm just going for good, clean reps here. Not rushing, but I'm moving with some haste. Good. We got 10 more seconds. All right, next. Time. So next, come on down to the mat. Let's get into that push-up position. We're going to start our plank in 3, 2, 1, and go. We're just going to hold this position here. And if you need to, you can always come down to your forearms. This is still a really good plank. You can always work from your knees too. Perfectly useful plank. It's whatever will allow you to keep that core working and keep a flat back. Remember, buns are tight. That prevents us from sticking our butt up in the air or sagging the hips down too low. We're just keeping that nice strict plank. So that's time. Everyone come up to your hands now, and we're going to go into that mountain climber. Ready, set, go.
So we're moving quick. Whichever foot or knee is coming toward your chest, you're going to get that knee as close to your chest as possible. And don't let that foot touch the floor. So it's a jogging pace here for 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, short break here. Let's take about 30 seconds.
And again, I'm really sorry if this is lagging, but we're going to do our very best here. So taking, 15, 20 seconds more. We're just going to restart that circuit. All right, so let's get ready coming back to squats here. So if you are keeping your weight on your heels, you can come down hips to knee height and then press back through the entire foot. Most of your weight is on your heels. So here we go for 30 seconds. Go. It helps to have hands in front of you for balance. Go for it. You make it more challenging by bringing your hands to your head. Now, like I said, if you've got, a book bag, weights, like a dumbbell that you want to hold on to, you can bring that right in front of your chest. It's what we call a gauntlet squat. We're still going. All right, time. So coming down to the mat, let's get back in that push-up position plank here. And like I said, you can always be on your knees, you can be on the forearms, or you're on the hands. Go. 30 seconds of holding that plank. Since it's still pretty early in the workout, this is a really good time to make sure you're using your core, make sure you're getting it working for you. So you brace your abs like somebody's going to punch you in the gut. It's going to help you to keep those muscles working. And then squeeze and buns tight for another 3, 2, 1. Next, we're going into those mountain climbers. So you can stay right here and just hold it. I'm going to make it a little harder. Now's the perfect time for a micro break. And mountain climbers, go. 30 seconds. So figure out a good way here to keep your breathing working for you. If you start holding your breath, you're going to burn out pretty quick. We got another 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. Short break. Hopefully things are a little bit better now. Yeah, it seems to be getting better. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. So hopefully everybody's doing well so far. That's 2 rounds down. I want to go through one more round on this first circuit, and then we'll take a little bit longer. A little bit longer of a break while I run through a demo of the next circuit. So go ahead and come back to that squat. Let's get started. One more round. Ready, set, go. So earlier, I'd mentioned keeping your weight on your heels. If you've done squats before, someone's probably given you this tip. Useful, but I also want to remind you to use the entire foot. It's there for balance. If you can push through all 10 toes, push through the ball of the foot, but keep, most of your weight on the heels, that'll be best. So now, coming back to that plank. So come on down, push-up position, or you're on the knees, and go. This is a chance to catch your breath here. The squats are tough. That mountain climber is going to be pretty fast. So this is the perfect time to focus on breathing a little more, maybe a little more deeply, while keeping abs tight, buns tight for another 10 seconds here. Uh-oh, screen's flashing. Hopefully this is still working okay. And next we got mountain climbers. So take the micro break or stay in that push-up position until we start mountain climbers in 3, 2, 1. And go. Don't hold your breath here. Keep breathing steadily. One knee at a time to the chest here. 15 seconds to go. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. All right, so everybody gets a sip of water here. I'm going to run through a demonstration on the next circuit. So again, we'll go 3 rounds of 30 seconds per exercise. However, we're working on a lunge or a split squat. So we're going to work 30 seconds on one side. We're going to switch feet, 30 seconds on the other side. And then we're coming down to that mat. We're going to do 30 seconds per side on a side plank. So your options are legs straight, come up on that forearm, reach that hand up if you want. You can also do this from the side of the shin, so knees bent. This will be a little easier, still super useful. Or if you really want to spice it up, we're on the hand and the side of the feet, reaching top hand toward the sky. From there, we're going to revisit squats as a jump squat. So this is a good option. You can also just stay low and pulse on those squats if jumping is not agreeable with you. So before I start here, somebody give me a thumbs up if we're doing okay with the audio and the video here. All right, well, we'll roll with it. So starting out in that split squat, 30 seconds per side, and go. So we're taking that back knee down toward the floor just before it rests on the floor. If you take a look at the distance between my feet, I need enough space between my feet so that my front knee is not diving out over the toes. We're going straight down toward the floor, straight up, keeping buns tight, pushing through the heel of the front foot for 3, 2, 1. You got 10 seconds to breathe here, and then we switch sides. So we're still doing that same lunge or split squat. Just working the other side. Go. So that back knee, again, we're taking that back knee straight down toward the floor, keeping weight on the heel of the front foot. And I want you to make sure that your knee stays directly above your ankle there. For another 8 seconds. Woo! Challenges the balance too. Good. All right, we're coming down to the mat for the side plank. So I'm going to take that challenging but kind of intermediate option. 30 seconds here. Side plank on the forearm and the side of the foot. Things to think about here. Again, buns tight. I'm going to say that a lot because it's really useful for a lot of what we do. Think of squeezing your thighs together here. That top hand, whether it's on your side or reaching toward the sky, that hand is going to help you pull that shoulder back. Let's switch sides here. So, ready, set, go. On that second side. If I'm reaching that hand toward the sky, I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together, which keeps me from rolling or leaning forward. Squeezing thighs together, buns tight, for another 10 seconds here. I don't want to let those hips sag, and I also don't want them way up in the air. I'm creating a plank from the feet through the shoulders, really through the crown of the head. Rest here. So everybody stand. We've got jump squats next. Go. So we want a soft landing here while jumping as high as we can. Like I said before, you can always take the modification of just pulsing near the bottom of the squats. Let's go 10 more seconds. This is still going to drive that heart rate up. Get those legs burning without the impact. And rest. Nice. Okay, so again, I really hope that it's not lagging for you. I hope there's still audio. You've got a little water break here, and then we restart that circuit. All right, so we're about 25 minutes in. I want to work for about 35, maybe 40 minutes, and then we'll do a little bit of cool down stretching toward the end of the workout. So let's come back to that split squat. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, lunge position. Ready, set, go. Something else to keep in mind, you know, if that's tough on the knees, usually the knees that kind of shout at us when we're working on those lunges. You can always use the back of the chair. You can press with that hand to help you come up, and then your legs can do the work on the way down. One more time on this side. Okay, let's switch sides. So, I think I had right foot forward, and go. So, if you're using that chair, that still allows you to go through the movement. You can work on keeping your glutes tight, straight down, straight up, no traveling forward, or use the assistance if you need it. No point in bugging the knees if you don't need to. All right, one more time. All the way down, all the way up. And then we're coming back to the mat. Going back to the mat for a side plank here. So come on down. Ready, set, go. And remember, those modifications that we've got here would be knees bent, feet back behind you. If you're taking this option though, make sure you press your hips forward so that knees through the crown of your head, your body's still in a straight line. Got about 5 more seconds here. Big deep breaths. And switching sides. So whether you're on bent knees, ready, set, go. Whether you're on bent knees, straight leg, or even up on an extended arm, the goal is to keep the hips forward so that your core and your glutes, or your hip muscles, your butt muscles, are all working together to keep your body in a straight line. Hence the plank. 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody stand. We are going back to that jump squat. I'm just going to run through 2 rounds of this circuit today for the sake of time. So let's work on those jump squats here. Jumping as high as you can, soft landing. Or you're pulsing right here. Staying low if you're doing those pulses, but eliminating the impact that we have on those jump squats. Keep going here. So, like I said, for the sake of time, we'll just do 2 rounds of this circuit and then move on. All right, time. So, nice work, everybody. Yeah, no more lagging. Awesome. So we are going to take a little breather there. What I want to run through next is a push-up. We're going to do a seated, either an I, T, or Y, which is going to work those back muscles, the upper back muscles, because without weights, that can be a little challenging at times. And then we're going to do a lateral hop. So working more of the side-to-side movements. So for your push-up, you're either going to be on the floor, standard push-up position. You can take the knee option here. This is still super useful. Really good way to work that core and the chest You can also use a bench or a chair. This is a good option if you're doing well with a knee push-up and you're not quite to a full push-up. I recommend this option here because you can do a full push-up elevated, which will be slightly easier, but still a good way to challenge yourself. So that's going to be the push-up. Next, I'm going to bring the chair in here. So for working those mid-back muscles, what I want you to do, take a seat right at the edge of your chair. I want you to lean your torso forward, but I want you to keep a flat back. So we're not just slouching forward here. From the hips through the crown of the head, nice flat line. The easiest option here is going to be bringing those hands back behind you. So we're squeezing the shoulder blades down and back away from the ears here. And the goal is to keep your upper traps or the tops of your shoulders pretty relaxed and feel this more between the shoulder blades. Next variation, I should say, would be to bring those arms out wide to a T. This is going to be a little more challenging. Third option would be to bring those hands forward, thumbs up. So we're making more of a sort of a Y position here, I or Y somewhere in there. I like going thumbs up because it feels better on my shoulders. If I have palms down or even thumbs down, it bugs my shoulders. So if we're going thumbs up here, reaching those arms forward to a Y, this is going to be the hardest option. From there, we are going to work on a lateral hop. So we're either right here, this is that high intensity drill, or we're going to get down lower to more of what we call a speed skater, working on hopping as wide as you can. So starting out in push-ups, pick your variation. Starting up in 3, 2, 1, and go. Exhale as you press up. Inhale on the way down. Got that chair in the frame still. Take the knee option if you need it. Remember, you can do push-ups off of a chair, tabletop, countertop. If you want to work on the full push-up, but you're not quite ready to do a full floor push-up. Okay, rest on those push-ups. Come into your chair. Let's work on one of those 3 options. Ready, set, go here. So we're working on the T's. We're bringing those arms out wide. Squeezing shoulder blades down and back. This is really going to get a lot of muscles throughout your back working. Taking the Y variation. You want to spice it up. Hands by your waist. It's a little too tricky. And time. Everybody stand. We're going for lateral hops here. In 3, 2, 1, go. Like I said, if you can stay low, this is going to be a whole lot harder. You're going to feel this more in your thighs and hips. If you need to, you can always set both feet down and just work as fast as you can. Otherwise, we're hopping for another 5 seconds here. And time. Quick break. Grab a sip of water. I think we're still good. I hope. I don't think there's any more lagging. All right, everybody. We're not starting up quite yet. Grab a sip of water here before we come back to our push-ups. So, come on down to the floor. Come back to your countertop or your bench or your chair if that's what you're using. And ready, set, go. So everything we're doing today is for 30 seconds. So that's usually 12, maybe 15 reps on these strength exercises.
But if you need to take that micro break, you can always take a little break during the set, preferably at the top of the push-up. 3, 2, 1, and go. So this time, for working that mid-back, I want you all to try this without the chair. So feet together, butt back, weight on your heels, flat back, and we're going through the T, or we're bringing hands by our waist for a slightly less challenging option, or we're spicing that up, hands in front of you, thumbs toward the sky, reaching those hands as high as we can while keeping the flat back. This is going to work your hips more, and time. Last round on the lateral hops or the speed skater. Ready, set, go. So moving as quick as we can here, driving that heart rate up as high as we can before we take a break. Keep going. Remember, we can modify. We can just do side-to-side stepping. We can just hop gently from one foot to the other, or we're going for the extra pizzazz here. And time. All right, so I'm just going to keep it at 2 rounds there as well. Jennifer, we'll see you on Friday. So 2 rounds there. What I want to do for a little bit of a kind of a bonus finisher movement, I want to get a little ab burn going. So we're going to come down to our backs. And we've got feet on the floor for starters. Let's reach those hands toward the ceiling. Now bring those shins up, bring those legs up, tabletop with the flat back here. The goal is for a minute straight, we're extending arms and legs while keeping a flat back. You can keep it in a little bit closer if that's what you need to do to keep your back down, or extend those legs all the way, arms till they're just above the floor, pull everything back in. You can also come up and crunch. Let's go for the minute and go. Everybody loves nice ab burn after a workout. Without it, like we never worked out. So it's always worthwhile to finish things up with burning out the core here. We're already 30 seconds in. You can always pull legs and arms in, go for the crunch. Extend those arms and legs, go for the crunch. You can also do one leg at a time. You're not quite ready to do both. You can also tap one heel to the floor. You can get alternating arms going with those legs. Or we're working on the full option here. That's a minute. And rest here. Take a little breather. We're going to do one more round of that in just a second here. All right, one more time. Come on down to your back. Make that tabletop with your shins, hands toward the ceiling here. And go. If you're feeling extra fired up today, go ahead and extend those arms and legs. Keep your chin tucked toward your chest. Hold that position. We're going to hold that for the minute. I'm not, because I don't think my core would like that. I'm not quite there yet. But whatever option you choose here, keep those abs working and keep that lower back imprinted on the floor. Keep it pressed into the floor, because the second that your lower back peels away from the floor, that's when your hip flexors are trying to do the work of your abs. And we're no longer getting the benefit for the core. 45 seconds here. Keep it going.
One more time. And rest. Good. All right, so that's going to wrap up the work portion here. What I want to stick around for is maybe 5-10 minutes of stretching and cool down work. You did great today. So what we'll start with is using the chair here, because we did a pretty decent amount of work for that back that may make things feel a little tight and stiff. This is a stretch that's really intended for your lats, but you can also use this for more of thoracic spine extension or mobility. You bring the pinky sides of your hands together. We want those elbows just about shoulder width. And we're going to put elbows right at the edge of that chair so that you can drop your head between your arms. And if we tuck the tailbone round the back here, it's like the one time we'll talk about rounding the back. You sort of slouch around that back, drop your head toward the floor. You should feel a really good stretch through those lats, through the sides of your back. From there, you can pull your hands toward your shoulder blades to deepen that stretch. The alternative here would be to actually arch the back or extend the spine. And that would look like more of sort of poking your butt back behind you, so that what we're doing is we're getting more of an extension or more of a stretch through the thoracic spine. Pick the option that works best for you. You kind of have to play with that one to find the stretch, but it's a really worthwhile way to stretch your lats that tight after a workout, maybe if you've been sitting a lot. But from there, let's simply come on down to our butts, and let's extend one leg. Let's pull the other foot in close here. And we're just going to walk those fingertips along the floor toward the extended leg. So what I prefer here is to hinge from the hips, keep your torso tall, rather than simply diving your hands toward your foot, which is going to be more of kind of rounding through the back. You can sit up tall here. You might not even need to lean forward that much, but if you sit up tall and then just sort of, reach the fingertips toward the toe with a flat back, that's going to be more hamstring. It's going to be a little safer too. And always add some rotation in here. And let's switch side. So again, I'm not slouching my hands toward my foot, staying tall, and I'm hinging from the hips. So if you can touch your toes, awesome. If not, also awesome. If you're not quite there, keep your torso tall and just reach toward the fingertips, enough to still get a good stretch through the hamstrings. Okay. All right, so let's go through a piriformis stretch here. So if you take your right foot, flex that foot and set it on top of the left knee. That left leg is bent, left foot is still on the floor. And right here, you might get a good stretch. You may need to scoot your butt in a little closer to your heel, your left heel, and that's going to deepen the stretch. If you're not there yet, that's okay. You might be back here. This might be a stretch for you. But find where you get a decent amount of stretch through your, it's going to feel like it's sort of below your butt on the right side. Let's switch legs here. So this is the figure 4 position, but we're simply doing so seated rather than laying on your back. You can also sit on a chair for this one. I typically would sit in a lot. And even with some of the movements that we did today, it may feel like kind of, booty soreness. It might feel like sort of hamstring soreness, but it may be that you need to get a good pure form of stretch in there too. Come on out of that. Last stretch we're going to do here, coming up on the end of our time, so I won't keep it too long. But for a pec stretch, we are going to work on left pec first here. And if all you've got is that chair, bring your forearm to the edge of the seat, and then your supporting hand and your knees are going to be spaced out so that you can dive your chest toward the floor. Let your shoulder blades squeeze together here. We want to feel a stretch through your chest here. This is my left pec in this scenario. One thing to think about, though, is that we want to pull that shoulder blade down and back so that we're not diving the shoulder toward the floor. We're actually diving your chest toward the floor. Switch sides here. So what this would look like from the side, forearm on the chair, supporting hand and knees are spaced apart. We're diving the chest toward the floor. After all the push-ups we did today, this will be a nice option. Let your head hang. Focus on letting that chest fall toward the floor. And then ease your way back out of that. All right, good work today. Thank you for joining me Friday morning at 8. We're going to do this all over again. So you can start and you can end your week with a bodyweight boot camp. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome week. I miss everybody at the club, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all soon. Okay, bye.